Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner. My name is Gary Beekler. I come to you from Nerdrotic.com, and I am live in a very steamy San Francisco. It's hot. It's freaking hot. And I don't have air conditioning. But you don't want to hear me complain about that. And honestly, I don't want to hear me complain about it either. But let's welcome everybody in the chat. Welcome, Julius Hibbert, Alabama Wyatt, Mongoose McQueen, author Stephen Walton, author of the Fandom Menace Project. Hail, sir. Bear Nerd Fun. Claudia Acosto, Python 085, Fatty Corpuscule. I can't read, I'm sorry. Spirit Scar. Daniel LDB61, Alex Zen Artist. I like that. David Rayner. Matt Branham, Nicholas Horton, and a super chat, and I'll get to that in a second. Thank you, my friend. Weary Man, Blair Fowler, Razvin Mihanyu. Sorry, Razvin, I'm sorry. I'll read your chat. Kylo, oh, I've had so many names over the eons that I don't remember. Pause. Tenebrae, Vitiatat, Volcaron, Bane, Tenebris, Plagius, Sidious, Vader, Snoke. That would mean they would make something better. Now tell me, who are you hoping to kill? Now tell me, who are you hoping to kill? Me, Jedi. Do it. Chuck Norris can eat only one potato chip and then stop. Venom Broly, what's up? Max Mercer. Booner Boyo, DN, the Imperial Inquisitor, says my name 3 times. Awesome. Denmark signing in. Welcome, Denmark. Hail world. Welcome to Nerdrotic. So, we've got some stuff to talk about today. It's been a very interesting week in the Fandom Menace. And I did a live stream last night on Geeks and Gamers till 2 a.m. So, had to sleep and got up, worked out, did my little I do a Patreon Nooner prior to the Nooner. It's called Foreplay. Just finished that. Helped me get warmed up. But I had to think about why Bob Iger, and we talked about this a little bit with Uche and James. James. Why did I just say James? What the hell's wrong with me? Jeremy, Uche, Mahler, and then Anna came in. It was a good live stream. And we couldn't figure out for the life of us why Bob Iger came out with this autobiography. But I think I know why. So he's getting ready to be president. So he's already starting to distance himself from Disney. I mean, he's got the job anyway. It's not like anybody's going to fire him. He's going to stay until he leaves. So he's already starting to distance himself and look transparent. So people will go, hey, look at, he was so honest about Disney. He's such a transparent, nice guy. Wouldn't he make a great president? No, absolutely not. Unless Bob Iger becomes president and wants to start buying other countries, because that's about all he's good at. And honestly, we don't want to buy any more countries. We still need to make Canada our 51st state. Just kidding. New Jersey meetup. I don't know if there's going to be a New Jersey meetup, Uncle Remus. It depends on where. Honestly, I know what hotels I'm staying in. I'm staying in 2 different hotels, which I need to. So I'm staying in one day. I got to move and then go back. We'll see if that's going to work out. Hopefully it can. But yeah, I don't think there'll be a Jersey meetup because I don't think I'll be in Jersey. But I know so little about the East Coast. I haven't been there in a decade and a half. So yeah, I'll be pretty lost in New York. I'll figure it out though. Trusted member of the media I'm going to be. Maybe we'll run into Inverse. Wouldn't it be nice to have a little conversation with Corey? Sit down and talk. And this is not a threat. It's like, seriously, let's sit down and talk. I'd like to hear a nice reasoned argument why you broadly generalized us as white nationalists. The white nationalist corner of the media. Is that what he called it? I'll read it in a second here. I like what Crowder called current media, by the way. He called it the multimedia industrial complex. I think that's what we should call them at this point. because there's still members of the media. R.I.P. Aaron Eisenberg. Indeed. There's still members of the media who think they're anti-establishment, which is hilarious. If Bob Iger runs for prez, I truly hope the Star Wars vote scorches him so badly he never tries to politic again. Mr. Oh my God, what is this? Mr. Brachiating Ape. Yes. Greenland, 51st state. Hell yeah. Hey, there's a spaceship buried under the ice in Greenland. That's why we're going there. That's what Linda Moulton Howe said. Hail, your dog's news. What's up? Atomic Half-Lives Matter. If Bob Iger becomes president, then I'm going to volunteer for the Mars colonization program. You know, I might as well. But we know how that turns out. If you watch The Expanse, it doesn't turn out very well for Mars. It doesn't. And hail to the wrenches. I didn't see who's here, but hail. Christy's here. Hi, Christy. Is Candace here? Where's Candace? Candace, are you here? If I see you in here, Candace, I need to wrench you. Candace sent me, oh God, we've got to talk about Joker. I know I haven't talked about Joker enough, but I think there's some skullduggery going on with Joker. Because it's gotten to insane levels. The criticism of this film, a film that hasn't come out, it's just a damn movie, but they think it's the Joker is going to be the thing that awakens all the Manchurian candidates around the country. Like they're all going to watch the Joker and then go and, do dastardly things. No, I did not go to Area 51, and I'm glad I didn't. Although the Nuratu, is that how you say it? Runner was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. All right, let's get to a couple super chats here, then we'll get back. Warren Roar, what's up? Joker, not sure if it's woke or not. Yeah, I'm not either. See, that's the thing. When I saw the critics liking it, I'm like, oh, it's going to be woke as hell. But then I've heard different, so I don't know. This is going to be kind of one of those wait and see. When I first heard they were going to hire Alec Baldwin as Thomas Wayne, and he was going to be a Trump stand-in, and that's what I'm like, I don't want any part of it. But maybe I heard they kind of wrote all that stuff out, so I'm not sure. But Warren, we got to think about that with everything now. Every single thing that comes out is like, is it going to be woke? I mean, Mr. Robot, I like that show, but I just talked about it in my Patreon live stream. It's probably going to be woke as hell, and I'm going to dip out in 2 episodes. That's going to suck, because then I'll have to review Batwoman all the time, which I will. Run, Naruto, run! Let's get to a couple super chats here. We got the rookie critic who just got monetized. Oh, dude, let me know next time you're doing your live stream. I need to give you some super chats, bro. I need to give you some payback. So let me know. Welcome to monetization. Now you are what are you now? An outrage farmer. You're an outrage farmer. You outrage farmer. You capitalist. You dirty capitalist. Oh, another thing that I'd like to talk about is I took a peep into my old comic shop on the way back from the gym, because I saw a formerly Diversity in Comics, your boy Zach video about Fearless. So I was curious to see if my old shop carried a ZQ comic, Zoe Quinn. And they did. So just so you know, if I was owning, which I don't, but if I still owned a comic shop, none of her books would be on my shelves, ever. But it's curious that they won't let some of the Indiegogo crowd in the or in particular Richard, they actively try to keep him out of comic stores, then accuse him of circumventing comic stores, and then carry books by people, I would say, so they won't carry books based on who somebody will vote for. But if you're even not inadvertently, if you even have a 0.11111% stake in somebody leaving this mortal coil, I think that would put your character in question, maybe at the very least. I don't know. But yeah, that was disappointing as hell. Warrior Monk for $1.99. Lucas needs to make the ultimate fan film, episodes 7 and 9. He could. Maybe make it Orville, not Orville style, but like in that flavor of parody. Like just create a whole other universe that looks like the original universe and go from there. That would be the biggest troll of all time. That would, oh my, I would give, not that George needs it, but I would give him more money. I would. As long as he didn't direct it. Nicholas Horton for £2. The EU is the Star Wars we want. Yeah. You know, Disney, that's all they had to do. They made this so much harder than it needed to be. Your stuff was written for you. It was there. And not every bit of it is good, but there was enough good there to adapt till the end of time. But that's Hollywood. You know, Hollywood still, for the most part, does not understand genre, fandom, nerddom, and I don't think they ever will. These are very detached people making the decisions. Now, if it was people like, in the trenches, your artists, your people in your post-production, the people with like real passion, if they were making the decisions, you would get a lot more purity in the work. But it's the bankers. As the bigger this thing gets, it's bankers making the decisions, and they don't have a effing clue, and they never will. Thank you, Nicholas Horton, for the £2. The Male Ray for $5. Select parts of the EU is the Star Wars we want. There was a lot of fecal matter in there, let's be honest. There was. Now, I can only speak to the comic books. I did not. The only side books I read from Star Wars were the Timothy Zahn, Alan Dean Foster's Splinter of the Mind's Eye, and I can't remember the name, but the 3 Lando Calrissian books and the 3 Han Solo books that came out like during Star Wars. Then I read a bunch of the comic books, mostly Dark Horse, and I liked the vast majority of them, to be honest with you. The early Dark Horse stuff, I can't think of something I didn't like. Some stuff was like not, it was always like 7 out of 10 to me. Yeah. Knights of the Old Republic. Select parts. Okay. So thank you, Male Ray. Nicholas Horton for £5. If Disney had gone with George's story for the sequel trilogy, we could have had Mara Jade and Jaina Solo. That hurts to even say that. So the Mara Jade and Jaina Solo stories, the only, honestly, I know them somewhat from comics, but mostly from people describing the books to me in the comic store. Because listen, when I owned the comic store, my mantra was, I don't have time to read books with words in them. I just didn't. I just read comics all the time. So they would give me the plot summaries and stuff, and they sounded great. Now, it might be the person telling me the plot summary was just a good storyteller and was good, but it sounded amazing. Yeah, it's a disappointment. So the Fandom Menace is victorious. We do need to talk about the Fandom Menace won a battle, a decisive battle. They did not win the war because honestly, ultimately the war's lost. Like I said before, you could not put the milk back in the titty. War is lost. Luke is dust. He is done. There's nothing JJ can do to help that. You'll never get the original 3 back on screen together. That's done. So we can't. The only thing we can do is maybe make them change direction to make something watchable at this point, which I think they're going to have to do because honestly, I'm forgetting. I don't know the lady's name. The one who was running the parks, who just had to step down. That is the Fandom Menace's first scalp. And I don't think it was unintentional. I don't know if she had anything to do with it. I think Kathleen Kennedy screwed her, to be honest with you. And I think she was just a fall. Well, you know what? We got fall gals now. Welcome to business, ladies. You got fall gals. More women will be put into power positions. More women will be fired, just like more men will be. So, yeah, she was. They fired a woman. But Bob Iger releases an autobiography where he's looking all thin and good, nice and tan from the golf course or the tanning bed or the spray tan, wherever the hell he got it. And like I said in the Patreon podcast, you know, he did, according to Midnight's Edge, he came from humble beginnings, but I don't care where you came from. Once you've gone and praised Moloch at Bohemian Grove, you've become the elite in Hollywood, and he did whatever mock sacrifice he had to do to become part of that. Now he's a shot caller, so he's one of them. He's not a man of the people. I don't care where his beginnings came from. It's where his endings are. And there's no way this dude should be president ever, but destroying the biggest franchise in history, and he has his part. He's got to take responsibility for hiring people. And again, I admire his honesty from the autobiography, but I don't know what the hell his goal was, because all he did was Jeremy said it best. He handed us a gift. There was starting to be discourse within the Fandom Menace. All right. I'm not sure all of you, listen, most of you are probably not on Twitter because you're very smart people. But for those of you who are, there was some discourse happening. Now, this happens in any movement, whether it's a loose set of individuals or not. And people were asking questions, which they have every right to ask, by the way. Excuse me. Which is, what's the Fandom Menace's goal, and what are we going to do? Just hate on Star Wars? And it's like, I don't think about it, because it's not a business. It's not a building. We don't get together and plan things. It's day by day. Jeremy makes a video about whatever the hell he wants to make a video about. It's his channel. Same here. And we just, our goal is to entertain. That's the main goal. And to be an alternate voice, an alternate place to go, because quite frankly, you have no other place to go. You don't, other than if you want to read inverse. So there was some, questions being asked, and then this plops down, fires everybody up. And it shows you, like, again, we're victorious, but we still gotta, frankly, we have to hurt Rise of Skywalker. Is that going to happen? I think maybe. I do. I actually think we will affect it. Will it still make a buttload of money? Yes, absolutely. Will it make $1 billion worldwide? Probably. But it won't make Last Jedi money. It won't make Force Awakens money. No way in hell. No way in hell. So we'll have, that remains to be seen. But Empty Galaxy's Edge, and listen, there's other factors with that as well. But I love that Grace Randolph just came out with a video saying the Star Wars boycott worked without saying the Fandom Menace, which is essentially the same thing. And it did. It did. And I was telling my patrons earlier this morning, I said, this is all we needed to do. Okay, we didn't need to get absolute victory, because this is where the stockholders will be on our side. All we have to do is force them to have one bad quarter, and they will make wholesale changes. Well, that just happened. So, take your victory lap. We'll see what happens after that. We'll see what happens with the Rise of Skywalker. I know a lot of the big talk was with Star Wars Explained blocking everybody who is Fandom Menace and follows Jeremy. And, well, it can't be all people who follow Jeremy, because Anti-Trekker, on his live stream today, he was blocked by Fandom Menace too, and he does not follow Jeremy. So it's got to be something other than that. It's probably mainly Jeremy, I'm guessing. But it's a lot of people, and apparently he blocked a lot of his fans. And I don't know if that's a great idea. If your channel is losing traction, blocking potential viewers just doesn't seem the right way to go. Just unsolicited advice. I honestly don't mind. I don't need Star Wars explained to me, so hey, that's fine. If Disney, okay, thank you, Nicholas Horton, for £5. Kid menu Jeremy, there you are, for $2. Where are my tater tots? They are in the toaster oven, Kid Menu Jeremy. But I've got a juice box for you. So here's a juice box and some taters. The Rookie Critic for $2 more. Or no, that was the original one, because it jumped up on me. Thanks, Rookie Critic. Aaron Peterson for Canadian $5, eh? Where'd you go, Aaron? You just blipped out on me. There you are. Just come and take Alberta as the 51st state, please. Okay. We'll buy it for $5 Canadian. I'll just give you your money back, and you could sign the state over to me. And then I'll give it to, I don't know, Doomcock or something. Apocrypha for $1.99. Dave Chappelle, Sticks and Stones, has an 8.6 on IMDb, as it should. As it should. So maybe IMDb is more legit now. I thought IMDb got infiltrated, but maybe it swung back and now it's more legit. Christian Taylor Lee for 2 Canadian pesos. Hi, Gary. Greetings. Thank you for all you do. Well, thank you for being here. I can't do it without you guys. So we just passed 131,000 subs. So thank you very much. And I'll take this moment out there. A lot of people are watching and are not subscribed. You might want to consider subscribing, and please like and share the videos. YouTube did something good. They let us keep our check marks, which is nice. They actually listened, which was shocking. I'm still shocked about this. I'm wondering when the other shoe is going to drop, but they are stamping down videos in the Fandom Menace and pretty much anybody independent, whether they agree with me or not. If your favorite YouTuber is an independent organization, they need your help more now than ever to like and share the video, please. That's not just for me. That's for Jeremy and Doomcock and Mecca and Tom at Midnight's Edge, everybody. Professor Geek, who we're hoping to get on this Friday. We are getting on this Friday. Frank Palmieri for $5. If they are hyping the incel killer angle to get viral marketing, that may be the lowest corporate move I've ever seen. Got a feeling it will be woke. Frank Palmieri, you hit the nail on the head there, buddy. And thanks to Candace who sent me that. We're going to get to that in just a sec. As a matter of fact, let's get to that. I'll take some more chat. I want to talk a little more about Star Wars, but let me get this prepped. One-man show, ladies and gentlemen, and aliens and nerds. Okay. Yeah, wow. That is some crazy ass. Military warns service members about potential threats at Joker screenings. I shit you not, people. Okay. So I'm a suspicious person. I admit I see a conspiracy in absolutely everything. And quite frankly, it was 2016 that really, I don't know, renewed my confidence in conspiracy theories because we actually saw one go down. So live, as a matter of fact, it's still going down. But let's get to evil marketing. I don't know. It would not be responsible for me to say that Warner Brothers is doing a marketing attempt to drum up fear and discourse and controversy to get somebody to see a movie. I just wouldn't put it past them. Would you? Considering everything we've seen from Hollywood. By the way, oh, there you are. Hang on. Hail Nerdrotic, Donner of the Press Pass. And hang on a second. Boom. You've been modded. You've been knighted, Candace. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for all the support. And thank you for this article. That was Candace who sent the article. So give her a hand, everybody. Welcome to the new mod. So we have Christy. We have Candace. Who do we have here? Is Mark here? Chris Purge is here. What's up, buddy? So Chris has been here forever, man. Chris is just a brilliant wrench. Is Mark not here? Oh, Mark, you can miss one. It's okay. And I'm blocked by Star Wars Explained. I don't even use Twitter for anything. There's Mark. How you doing, Mark? There's my buddy. Hi. He says hi. Okay. The U.S. government has urged service members to take extra precaution at screenings of Todd Phillips' Joker. according to a September 18th email obtained by Gizmodo. Oh, well, the warning stems from an FBI bulletin about recent online activity involving incel extreme... what? What? Okay, I can incel as like an internet term used by people to be derogatory about people who aren't able to connect with the opposite or the same sex because of lack of game or lack of interaction. It's not a really empathetic term from a side that claims they're so empathetic. I mean, well, shit, I've been accused of being an incel, which is hilarious. But that's okay. But incel is another term, by the way, is a derogatory term for a nerd. So any nerd who uses this term, well, you're not one then. You're one of those poser nerds who's actually a jock in disguise. And a lot of you are out there right now, mostly at Collider. One thing I noticed, I got to do more homework on this one, but it's just something that's popped up on my radar quite a bit. There's a lot of people who work at the big YouTubers and are in access media that are failed comedians. Now, maybe it's just the 5 or 6 people I've popped up. I always, when I do my research on people, which I do, I always see some sort of open mic improv group they're part of. Yeah, a lot of failed comedians in the access media. That explains a lot. Involving incel extremists who idolize the Joker character. The email echoed concerns about potential violence inspired by the deadly 2012 Aurora Theater shooting, which occurred during a screening of The Dark Knight Rises, which has a bunch of bad information about it that John F. Trent has, as a matter of fact, John F. Trent has kind of poked holes in all the theories that you find out that, him trying to emulate the Joker and stuff just wasn't true. Posts on social media have made reference to involuntary celibate incel extremists replicating the 2012 theater shooting in Aurora, Colorado, at screenings of the Joker movies at nationwide theaters. Incel extremists. Wow, that doesn't sound part of the extremist feminist narrative, does it? When entering theaters, identify 2 escape routes. Remain aware of your surroundings and remember the phrase run, hide, fight. Run if you can. If you're stuck, hide, and referred to as shelter in place, and stay quiet if the shooter finds you. Fight with whatever you can. Can't disagree with that. If it looks like you're going down, well, gouge an eye out, rip off a ball, do whatever I have to do to just, at least get your 2 cents in before you bail. A spokesperson for the U.S. Army told Gizmodo that the email was sent out as a precautionary measure. What is happening to our armed services? That officials were not aware of any specific attack plots. So let's just stir up. We do this routinely because the safety and security of our workforce is paramount. The representative told the outlet, we want our workforce to be prepared and diligent on personal safety, both inside the workplace and out. Are they talking about the military? I don't know if the military is a workforce. Is it? It's something a little more than a workforce. I mean, it's not like you're working at Costco, okay? I mean, it's the goddamn military. If you can read the military email below, Joker starring Joaquin Phoenix will hit theaters. Is that what it says at the end of the mail? Okay. Team. Here's the email. Hang on. Let me blow this up a little bit so my blind ass can see it. Oh, whoops. I'm blowing up the wrong thing. Give me just a second. Freaking boomer. Boomer. There we go. Posts on social media have made reference to involuntary celibate incel. This is a troll. This cannot be real. This cannot be real. This cannot be real. Extremists replicating the 2002 theater shooting in Aurora, Colorado at screenings of the... What the hell was that? Oh, hang on. Oh, piss off. At screenings of the Joker movie at nationwide theaters. This presents a potential risk to DoD personnel and family members, though there are no known specific credible threats to the opening of the Joker on October 4th in a theater near you. I'm surprised they didn't put a link to Fandango right next to that. Why would you put opening on October 4th? I guess you want to warn everybody, but... Incels are individuals who Hang on. I want to go to the source article on this. Yep. Good God. This is real. What kind of fucking world are we living in right now? Incels are individuals who express frustration from perceived disadvantages to starting intimate relationships. Incel extremists idolize violent individuals like the Aurora movie theater shooter. They also idolize the Joker character, the violent clown from the Batman series, admiring his depiction as a man who must pretend to be happy but eventually fight back against his bullies. When entering theaters, identify 2 escape routes. Remain aware of your surroundings and remember the phrase, run, hide, fight. Run if you can. If you're stuck, hide, blah, blah, blah. You know, this is a condensed version of an HQ Army Material Command G3 Protection Division security message. That we live in it's quite literally clown world at this point. I don't even know what to say about this. This is it's a movie, and it sounds like, you know, it sounds a lot like The Interview to me. I don't know. Stop, drop, and roll. That's what you got to do, is stop, drop, and roll. That is some crazy shit. Good God. Now I gotta blow this up so I can see this. All right, where was I? Yeah, that's thank you, Candace. That's insane. I am now thinking about just moving into the wilderness. Hopefully I can find some internet so I can still live stream, but yeah, just gonna move into the wilderness. If they are god damn it, incel extremists. So they're extremely involuntarily celibate. I still want to see Thrawn on the big screen, says Ventu Viper. I would like that too, with the right filmmaker, the right screenwriter. As always, I think that would be great. I think time. Maybe it takes Disney years to figure it out. They're not going to sell it, folks. So our only hope is in time we get better stories, but you're always going to, at least for those of us who grew up on Star Wars, they've destroyed it. They've absolutely destroyed it. And Marvel is going down the same path. Baby Meyer for 25 RONs for Ron, 25 Rons. Just testing this, if this works for my country now. Keep up the good work. Yes, they just opened up a bunch of new countries for Super Chats. Thank you. What country is this? Hang on. Now I got to look. Oh, Romanian. All right, cool. Well, awesome. Welcome, Romania. That is brilliant. Hiroshi Score for 50 Mexican dollars. I was watching Mortal Engines and surprise, it was about a girl who's a key to everything with a bad father. Have a nice day, Gary. Yes. Yes, that's exactly why I didn't watch it. Come on, Peter. Best time is now for $4.99. Let's have Seth MacFarlane do a nice Star Wars knockoff called Galactic Conflict. There you go. Would be my true Star Wars sequel trilogy. That's a good idea. That's a very good idea. I like that. Galactic Conflict. Oh, word. Why did you jump on me now? Ding, dang it. Wow. That really jumped on me. Oh, Peter Davidson's here. What's up? What's up, Peter Davison for Australian $10. Hi, Nerdrotic. I just finished Think and Get Rich by Napoleon Hill. I think it's like Disney values. Best example was a group of businessmen which caused the depreciation. Very, very disappointed. They caused the depression. Well, yeah, I did pay attention in school, but I don't know much about. Eric Brown, $2. The war was lost the day George sold Star Wars. Yep. So we're fighting in the culture war. We're fighting for the fan, but the ultimate victory is beyond us. We can't win because what we want is Luke, Han, and Leia restored. You know, Kathleen Kennedy in that interview, she said to George, we want to keep I'm paraphrasing what she said, but she basically said, we want to keep the characters the way George created them, how they live or something. I loved how she used the word live because they're all gone now. She couldn't wait to get rid of them to create their new characters so they can get all of the merchandising money. And believe me, money is always behind absolutely everything all the time. So yes, there are residuals to JJ, to George. How much? I don't know, but I completely believe they exist. And it really does explain why JJ would insert his creature designs for Star Wars. It's the same people who did the creature designs for Star Trek. It's almost like he used Star Trek to prep for Star Wars. I know that's not the case, but it's funny how that thing turned out. It's funny how everything turns out just right for JJ until he actually makes a movie. Not a fan of JJ. Gary, please watch Ruin the Man Baby's 37-second secret footage leaked video, a mock video where George Lucas smacks Rian Johnson for his ideas on Star Wars. Yes, I could check it out. I will get to it. Gary, sorry, I meant the depression. That's okay, Peter. I caught that. You didn't have to put another super chat in. Thank you very much. Thank you, Cracklin. Let me see if I can get to Ruin the Man Baby. Oh, by the way, folks, not that any of you have ever cared but my internet sucks. I finally found this out. I bought new computers. I bought new cameras. I bought new everything. And then we finally found out that my internet just sucks. It's old. They need to rewire everything. They're coming to do that Sunday. So I'm not going to look like I'm on dial-up anymore, which, it looks better here than on StreamYard, but, so I'm sorry about that. I'm thankful I have viewers. Let's get to Ruin the Man Baby. Okay. I've got to check this out first. Oh, okay. So here, I gotta set this up, and I gotta turn on some sound. Give me a second. All right. Nope, that's not it. There we go. And then I gotta turn on the audio. I have it muted. Audio. Output capture. And hopefully, I think this is all visual. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to hear it, but here we go. This is from Ruin the Man Baby. Follow him on Twitter. This secret footage was leaked from the first meeting between Rian Johnson and George Lucas. Rian had just shown George Lucas his script from The Last Jedi. This was George's response.
I don't want you here. Out. Right now. Out. There.
That was good. Thanks, Cracklin. Well played, Ruin. Well played, sir. I'm back. I don't know if you could hear any of that, but sorry if you couldn't. But it was all visual anyway. You got a good smack. Thanks, Cracklin, for $4.99. Peter Daverson, thank you again. Jack Stavish for $9.99. The only way to fix Star Wars is to decanonize Episode 7 and 9, agree, and start over. Anything that comes after will be tainted. Why couldn't we have Mara Jade, Jaina Solo, Jason Solo, and Anakin Solo? If Disney had the balls to do that, I would stop immediately. I would praise them. I would be simply a channel praising Disney. If they respected the fans so much, said, hey, we tried, we're sorry, we failed. We still have Harrison, we still have Luke, we still have Billy D. Why don't we try again, fans? Why don't we do a do-over? Can we just all pretend that 7 and 8 and 9 didn't exist and we'll just go over? And you know what? We could still sell the movies and you can call it an alternate universe and that's fine for the fans. And we'll do it over. I know it sounds insane. It'll never happen. But what if it did? They would heal so much, so fast, and make so much money. But Hollywood, the one thing that trumps money is their effing egos. And it would butthurt Kathleen Kennedy, Rianne Johnson, J.J. Abrams, and they would rather not embarrass them than please you. Remember that. They circle the wagons around each other. I mean, they all hate each other. They all do. The culture in Hollywood is like I said, it's a culture of betrayal. And we just had it on display. So, but they protect each other. What do you think that Game of Thrones Emmy was? It was a middle finger to us. That's what it was. It was the first fuck you Emmy. Charlie, £4.99. It wouldn't surprise me if Disney cooked the books in terms of sales on the next Star Wars like they did with Captain Marvel. It wouldn't surprise me either. Listen, that's not exclusive to Disney. Every single fracking company, in my opinion, does that in Hollywood. It's called Hollywood economics. It's been, the government looks the other way because it makes so much goddamn money and they get a good chunk of it. So, listen, Harvey Weinstein was a mob boss. Guy was a straight up mob boss. So you don't think they would look what they were doing. I mean, like, listen, I don't like the Time's Up movement, what the Time's Up and Me Too movement has turned into. It's turned into a power play that's really benefited J.J. Abrams quite a bit, but it started in a real place. There were some creepy MFers like Harvey Weinstein. If they're willing to do that to women, what do you think they're willing to do on their taxes? Just asking. So, and it's like oh, really? Wow. It's like my father-in-law said, if you're willing to steal $1, you're willing to steal 100. Okay. So, I mean, basically meaning stealing is stealing. It doesn't matter how much, what you do. So if you're dishonest in one place, you're going to be dishonest in another. Now, I've already given the example where they are dishonest in the open with comic books. I'm a former comic shop retailer. You can put up the meme, take a drink, whatever. They pad the numbers by putting variant covers out. The Marvel 1000 issue had up to 50 variant covers, so it makes it look like it sold a bunch of comics. But the comics that actually sold to individuals was a quarter of that. And they did that with Captain Marvel over and over again. So if they're willing to do it with the Captain Marvel comic book, why wouldn't the same company, I know it's different divisions, I know that, but it's still got the same boss. Why wouldn't you do it in the theaters? Listen, I think Doctor Who fudged the goddamn ratings too. Big time. Well, they did. Doctor Who, the initial ratings were just under Chris Eccleston's first episode. And then 2 weeks later, they looked in the couch at the BBC and they found 400,000 more views. And all of a sudden it beat Chris Eccleston's. That would have nothing to do with the narrative at all. It wouldn't surprise. So thank you, Charlie. Destiny Captain Gary, what am I about to ask? My mail is down there. You're going to ask about toxic mailbag. We're going to read a couple letters at the end. Thank you, Destiny Captain. Bless you. And yes, the answer is yes. I don't know if I'm going to get to it today, but Mills says something interesting here. I'm going to check that out. For 14, what's a czar? What the hell's a czar? 14 czar money. From Dutch Zuid Afrikaanse Rand. South Africa. Oh, it's a South Africa. What's up, South Africa? How's it going? Is that true? Did Hulu cancel Ghostrider? It didn't start. What the hell? Nope. They cut it. There is no Ghostrider. I hate to be clapping about this. I do. Ghostrider is tattooed on my right leg. I have every single Ghostrider comic ever made. I have every appearance he's ever been in. I love this character, although he's never had a real defining story. I would have to say Daniel Way had the best one and Garth Ennis had the best one. But otherwise, I'm a Johnny Blaze guy. But him driving around in a car is stupid. So this comes from Deadline right now, a couple hours ago. And I'm wondering, listen, this was supposed to be a diversity too. This is very interesting. Marvel's Ghostrider live action series not going forward at Hulu. So remember when I said that Phase 4 thing they announced at San Diego Comic-Con would look vastly different in 1 year? Well, it's already starting to look that way. Hulu in May picked up 2 new live-action series from Disney's sibling Marvel Television, Ghostrider and Hellstrom, to premiere in 2020. While Marvel's Hellstrom is on track, which is Son of Satan, and that's what... You know what? I don't like Hellstrom, Son of Satan, and I don't like Shang-Chi. I like Master of Kung Fu. That's what those comics were called. People aren't going to care. I hear Hulu and the Ghostrider team had reached a creative impasse which would not be resolved, leading to the streamer's decision not to move forward with the series. So Disney is arguing with itself. Maybe they wanted to put him on a motorcycle, which quite frankly costs more money. That's why they put him in a car. By the way, if you're in a car, you're a rider. Okay, you're not a rider. You're a ghost passenger. Okay, you're riding on a motorcycle. You're driving in a car. So it's Ghost Driver. Sorry. Marvel Television remains a leading supplier to Hulu with a series slate that includes the live-action Runaways, which has been renewed for a 3rd season, and upcoming Marvel's Hellstrom. Both co-produced by ABC Signature. By the way, this is still Jeff Loeb territory, so it's going to be probably garbage. Marvel's MODOK, I'm kind of curious about that. Marvel's Hit Monkey, they'll make it, Hit Monkey again was a cool comic, but they'll probably make it woke, SJW, whatever. Marvel's Tigra and Dazzler show, which will be SJW as hell. And then Marvel's Howard the Duck, which if they let that thing be what it's supposed to be, could be brilliant. Okay. Cause I love freaking Howard the Duck. Set to roll out in 2020, culminating in a special event, Marvel's The Offenders. Marvel's Ghostrider is executive produced by Stephen Lightfoot, who is to serve as the showrunner, Paul, whatever his last name, and Jeff Loeb. Yeah. Okay. I have no interest in seeing anything by Jeff Loeb. Again, I liked Jeff Loeb's comic books. I'm very sorry about his son. Jeff Loeb has written some excellent comic books, and he is shit on television. He is terrible. There is only one real show that he's produced that I would call great, and that is Daredevil Season 1. But that's because better people were involved. The anti-hero Ghostrider, also known as Robbie Reyes, well, that's like the... listen, I'd be fine with Robbie Reyes if he was on a motorcycle. To be honest with you, if he was on a motorcycle, I would accept it. It'd be fine. But this is one of those ways where they're unintentionally racist. Again, Robbie Reyes is from East LA. And if you're in East LA, He works in a garage because all the Mexican Americans who live in East LA, they all work as auto mechanics, and they all have siblings who are gang affiliated. None of them like are lawyers or manage a Home Depot or manage a bank or own a small business, a hardware store. No, they're all mechanics, and they have siblings in gangs because Hollywood's racist. It consumed by hellfire and supernaturally bound to a demon. Reyes lives in the Texas-Mexico border, and when he unleashed the Texas-Mexico border, Robbie brings vengeance for the innocents he encounters, but struggles to control the power he wields. I liked the first 2 seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I thought season 2 like really melded well into Winter Soldier, but then it turned into trash. I like both the Ghostrider movies. I know they suck. I totally understand that, but I like them. I have no explanation why I like them. I just do. But they suck. I understand that. So yeah, Ghostrider canceled. There you go. Thank you, Mills, for the breaking news. The good Tom King. Oh, God. I'm glad. Tom King has been in our chat forever, and we often mix him up with basically the rat snitch known as Tom King, the man who basically cucked Batman. And it sucks because it besmirches the good Tom King. So now he is the good Tom King, which is a great name, by the way, because the good king and everything. So well done. $5. Thanks, Gary, for all you do and your hard work. And thanks coining the new screen name on last Friday Night Tights. Yes. The good Tom King. There you go. Did I coin that? Okay, well, I'll take credit. Thanks. You're welcome, because you are the good Tom King. Kids Menu Jeremy for $2. Did you see the Rambo TV spot mocking pansies? No, I'll watch that afterwards. I can't show that here because of copyright strikes, but I will check it out. Kids Menu Jeremy, you have earned your tater tots, buddy. And I will get you a snow cone after, okay, when the ice cream man comes by. Although we don't have ice cream men here in San Francisco, which sucks. They're all over LA though. Candace Marie, our newest wrench, everybody. Candace Marie for $2. Hail Nerdrotic, Donner, and Press Passes. Donner of Press Passes. Yes, I have a press pass for New York Comic Con. I'm very excited to go. I'm not excited to get on a plane, but I'll just have to get through it. Darth Sweeney for £5. We truly are living in clown world. Joke. Oh God, I just lost the ability to talk. We are clearly living in clown world. Joker threats, laugh my ass off, right? It's stupid. What about all the other movies? What about Fight Club? I mean, Fight Club was, Modalicious for $5. Nothing to worry about with the Joker. Jade Helm training concluded, but chances are, some SJW will false flag his suicide because media hyped the woke. Yep. Oh yeah, Modalicious. Saruin of House Roundhead for $4.99. I recommend having a meetup next Wednesday in Brooklyn, New York by the Barclays Center. They have Shake Shack there that you and Jeremy might like. Okay. I will pass that by Jeremy. I do want to check out the Shake Shack. Is it better than In-N-Out? We can find out. As a matter of fact, that's what I'm having for dinner tonight. In-N-Out. And I'll take a picture of it and send it to Jeremy. Ventu Viper for $5. Is Star Wars Explained channel some kind of Disney Shield channel now? I guess so. I honestly had never checked out his content. I know he had some beef with Jeremy, but again, I don't need Star Wars Explained to me. Those channels are fine. I like lore channels and stuff. There's a great one. You know what? There's a better trilogy out there. It's called Lord of the Rings. And there is a brilliant YouTuber, and all he does is Lord of the Rings lore. Sounds like a really smart, nice kid. It's called Men of the West. Highly recommend that. If you want to learn about Lord of the Rings and you don't want to crack open the Silmarillion, I got to say it's Silmarillion. Watch his channel. It's great. Outpost Panther for $2. Incel Solution. Legalize happy endings. That's funny. And it's also true. That is an actual solution. And it helps both sides. For one, you're legalizing something that's there anyway. I'm not really for it, but there's nothing we can do for it. It's the same thing with drug. You might as well legalize it, make it safer for the women, make it safer for the men, and maybe it serves a purpose. Maybe we get something healthy about it. Because listen, it's just sex. That's all it is. So Output Panther. Sorry, well said. And it just jumped on me again. My apologies. I've got a scrolling up. Somebody knows who that YouTuber is. You win the no prize. Scrolling down, scrolling up. Trek Dog for £54.99. Thank you, Trek Dog. Hail Gary. Friday Night Tights was awesome. But instead of having 4 people with similar opinions on the show, why not you and Mahler against 2 other people with different opinions? Titled Star Trek Deathmatch Debate, like wrestling with arguments. Sure. I mean, I'm open to that. If people want to come on, the thing is, I'm open to it. If they want to ask to come on, the door is open for people to ask to come on. But I have promised to reach out to a lot of people that I have to fulfill that promise on. So once I get through and I'm also bringing on my patrons, and some of them might have an opposite opinion. So Trek Dog, that might happen, but the priority is going to go to, Fandom Menace, Geeks and Gamers, and my patrons. But if we want to do a debate, the thing is though, I want it to be fair. So I don't want anybody ganging up on anybody. Mahler being in a debate is almost not fair. That's like having 5 people on my side. So, but yeah, I'm totally open to that. Maybe we can do that like once a month or so. That's a good idea. I like that. But it would be debating a film or a movie. I'm not going to get into YouTube drama or anything like that. If it's about content in a film, or even culture war. Honestly, if somebody wants to have like a reasonable debate, I don't know if I do it on Friday night, but I do a live stream. I do a separate live stream for it, certainly. But we've changed the format a little bit on Friday Night Tights. It took me a long time to do it, but I love it. It is so much fun. The shows have been great. 5 p.m. Pacific time, Friday. We have 5 guests on. This week we're having Professor Geek, Uche, Jeremy, Drunk 3PO, Odin, Comics Division. We're going to have to switch somebody out, but it'll be 1 hour of one person and 1 hour of the other, but or maybe I'll step out and those guys can take over. Gentleman Bystander for $5. Okay, let's call this what it is. A B-tard trolled Gizmodo by pretending to be part of the DOD. FP Con has nothing to do with the movies. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know that, but Gentleman Bystander, it sounds like a troll. It sounds like a giant troll to me, and that would be funny in itself. So I'll look more into that. If there's military people out there who can like call this bullshit definitively, please contact me at gary@nerdrotic.com. Modalicious, $2. Scare porn to drive down audience attendance, maybe, or drive it up, Modalicious. Like some 4D chess there. Cesario JPN for $5. Can we get Mel Brooks to do Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money? Dangle enough money and we might get him out of his funk with today's culture. I would love it. Vladimir M. Ivanek for $2. Playing Jedi Knight 2 is still better than EA's trash. I will acquiesce to your expertise on that one because I am not a gamer. I've watched some Star Wars games get played by my kids and they look fun though. They look really cool. But I'm just not good at that stuff. Saquist for $20. Thank you. I suggest a video that starts with Doomcock saying we are fans and switches to a shot of the viewers continuing the declaration of who we are. End with Nerdrotic, Mecha, Random, Comic Artist, WCB, and Geeks and Gamers. That's a really good idea, actually, Saquist. I'll think about that. I'm going to screenshot this. Hang on. Give me just a second, folks. It's so much easier to screenshot on a Mac. I'll give you that. There we go. Okay, it's screenshot. Sporking News Podcast, $2. Just wanted to thank you, Gary, for everything you do. Well, thank you, Sporking News Podcast. Thank you, guys. Thank you for subscribing. 131 subscribers just passed. That is brilliant, beyond words. And I don't have enough words to thank you, but I didn't think I'd be here. When I sold my shop 5 years ago, I was down in the dumps. I just freaking relapsed, and life sucked. And, this just goes to show life can get better through sobriety. I know it's such a boring thing, but it's true. Life does get better. So if you're out there trying, go to your meetings, call your sponsor, life gets better. And I'm having fun. It sucks to watch our franchises go through this. It does. And the thing that sent me into the Fandom Menace was Doctor Who. So I'll be real with you guys, and you can listen, none of my reviews are all there. So The Force Awakens, when I first saw it, I didn't like it. And then Melissa saw it and I thought it was kind of good. And I'm like, all right, maybe I was being like a curmudgeon about it. Went back and watched it and went, nope, I still don't like it. So I went back and forth. Last Jedi, I hated. But in my review, I can't remember my review. I sat down and I had a co-host at the time. He liked it. I didn't. And we talked. But this was before I was coming in hard. I was still trying to find my voice on YouTube. I didn't have a beard. So, but I had to shave it for a job. But I walked out of there. I walked out of Last Jedi with a freaking headache. Like the worst migraine I've ever had. And it took me a while to realize it was from the movie. I thought it was because I didn't drink enough water, or maybe I was sick that day. It was from the movie. And it made me realize I still cared about Star Wars, but I stopped right after that. See behind me right here? So this wall right here, this one with all the Star Trek figures, used to be Star Wars figures on it many, many moons ago. I took all those down that night and I gave them all to my patrons. They were Star Wars figures I grew up with. Like my Boba Fett that I had since I was 11. My C-3PO, which was my first Star Wars figure that I had since I was 9. And that's freaking 41 years. I had that son of a bitch. Through all of my travels, through being homeless, I managed to hang on to that C-3PO. And after I watched The Last Jedi, I didn't want it anymore. I just was detached. So I didn't do Star Wars videos. I didn't care. I was done. I was like, fuck these guys, I'm done. But then, Star Trek came around, and that was, Star Trek was prior to Last Jedi. So I had just gone through it with Star Trek. Star Wars happens, and my breaking point was Doctor Who. I still hadn't dived into it until I saw Doctor Who. And then, they recast with a female doctor. I hated the idea, and I still hate it. It doesn't work. And I saw it, and it's proof it doesn't work. You can't just swap the gender of a fucking character and expect it to be the same character. We're too different. You can't do that. And you can't expect your built-in fan base to just accept it willy-nilly, especially when you don't even dive into it. You don't even really discuss the differences. You just did it half-ass. So they fill it full of freaking agenda, and you can see as I'm doing the reviews, I'm losing my shit. As each review, I'm losing my shit. In the 4th episode, I lost it. I'm like, fuck this show. And everything. So that's when I dived in. So it's almost been a year since I've fully dived in the Fandom Menace. And it's been cathartic, to be honest with you. I mean, you guys helped me because it was, even losing 2 franchises. If I could have kept Doctor Who, I'd probably been okay. But no, I mean, they took Doctor Who away. I mean, it's worse. I guess the only thing that's better is Doctor can return to being male. It doesn't need to be a white male, by the way. That's the narrative they keep throwing at us. The Doctor does not need to be a white male. As a matter of fact, I don't think it should be a white male next time. I think they should mix it up. You know what? But then why does the Doctor have to be British? Now, I prefer my doctor to be male and British. That's it, with a British accent. And that's what I want. And I want everybody working on Doctor Who to be British. I don't want Americans working. The only exception, Peter Dinklage. But I digress. That's what brought me here. And you know, it was watching all of you go through your pain was because, listen, I had detached from Star Wars, but watching the fans, watching how much you guys still care, how much passion you have. And I've always been about the fan. Even when I owned my store, I was never a star effer. I didn't care about comic artists or comic writers. I didn't need to be their buddy. I didn't want to be their buddy. I liked hanging out with the guys from the store. I would socialize with the customers, with my friends all the time. Like all the time. We'd do meetups and parties and go out to eat, just randomly go out to eat. Like after the store was closing, I'd say, we all went to Olive Garden and hung out, and it was fun. That's I don't know. I'd rather hang out with you guys, but watching your hearts break over Star Wars over and over again, it pisses me off. It does, because this didn't need to happen. This was so unnecessary. But Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams just wanted to burn through all their goodwill because they got Star Wars and they're like, look at all the stuff we could, instead of really thinking about it and really going, how can we make this successful over the long haul? How can we maintain the legacy? I talk with my hands too much. How can we maintain the legacy and keep things moving forward? No. It was, how much of this can we take advantage of right now? We've got the Me Too Time's Up era, which my wife, because I'm playing J.J. Abrams right now, co-founded. How much agenda can we put into this? How much of a political platform? We have a great opportunity here to get to a lot of young voices to help them be more aware of our evil orange man that we put into office in 2016 that we're obsessing over, which has completely ruined entertainment media, and video games, fucking comic books, everything, because a bunch of grown-ass adults can't get over something. How can we take advantage of this to sway the public? How could we be influencers instead of entertainers? They wanted to be influencers instead of entertainers. Or they thought they could influence through entertainment and they forgot about the entertainment part because they just weren't talented. I don't know. I'm off my soapbox, but that's what really got me back into it. So thank you. Gentleman bystander for $10. Just throwing this out there. Star Wars, Lucas did very little to keep Star Wars alive until the cash grab. Okay, I got to say this right. Until the cash grab quills, like sequels. It was Del Rey Books, Dark Horse Comics, and later LucasArts that kept it alive. Gentleman bystander, you are 100. God dang it. YouTube, I wish you could. One thing StreamYard does great is you can highlight chats. That is a great, listen, Dark Horse is as responsible as anything that Star Wars is still a brand, that it's one of the biggest brands in the world. Dark Horse brought us through the dark times. And quite honestly, at hindsight, it's some of the best storytelling. Now, again, I didn't read all the books, but the Del Rey books I read the Del Rey books. And I read the Dark Horse comics, and they're great. And listen, I still have, my full set of Marvel Star Wars comics from the 70s. There's no way I'll ever get rid of those. Those things are awesome. And I read all the comic strips. I couldn't wait till Sunday. I got to the Sunday paper and read that, 6 panels of Star Wars every Sunday. Which, I mean, if you guys haven't read those, it's a really hard to find slipcase book of 3 volumes of all the Sunday comics. I know they've reprinted it in a soft case, but you want to get, I forgot that it's a limited run hardcover slipcase. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Woke Troll for $5. Hail Gary, Coffee Mummy. Remember, stay woke, stay awoke, not woke, stay angry, and most importantly, stay on the wagon. Absolutely. Without the wagon, there is nothing. Sobriety comes first in my life before my family. Because without sobriety, there is no family, there is no YouTube, there's no you guys, there's no Spada 242 or Chris Persia. Yeah. The smug look on KK's face when George said, "I have faith in Kathy to keep my vision for the universe alive" spoke volumes. It certainly did. We went over that interview last night. That was actually a brilliant idea, Jeremy. The High Council was really good last night, so make sure you watch it. And then I don't know if Jeremy made that stream public. If he didn't, I'll get the link and I'll share it on my Twitter. It was really good. It was nice meeting Uche. Uche's awesome. I think I've seen Uche play. I'm pretty sure I have. If he's played against the Chargers in San Diego anytime in the last 15 years, I've seen him play. Did that jump on me? Wow. Hang on. I want to make sure. Okay, that's good. Sorry, I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Southeastern Kaiju for $5. Hollywood mirrors our political class. All backstabbing liars who step on us little people to get to the top and smile while doing it. Hashtag Hail Gary. I completely agree. Recently, Christopher Eccleston has come out and said his doctor, the Ninth Doctor, should have been female and that white middle-aged males should step aside. Again, the doctor does not need to be a white male. I don't care. I honestly don't care. It's racist to say that and it's disingenuous when you've already played the character, you gave it up, and then you say you should do this later. Yeah, it's real safe for them. It's, Crowder pointed this out. Sarah Silverman all of a sudden got all PC after she made her millions and it was safe to do so. And all of a sudden she stopped being shocking. You know what? Howard Stern's done the same thing too. They're freaking sellouts. They're sellouts. They were never about what they said, by the way. They just never were. And that's proof. Because if you're genuine, you don't change. And Howard didn't even need to change, but Howard was really just jealous all the time. Remember when he would deny it? But he was just jealous all the time. And unfortunately, he sold out. That's a great disappointment because I used to love Howard. Disney is toxic and manipulative, says Iris Lamb. Yes, they are. And they have a culture of betrayal. Look what they did to the billionaire creator of Star Wars, George Lucas. I mean, did it publicly. And all we got was confirmation of what we already knew, to be honest with you. But it's still shocking to hear. Doesn't make it any less shocking, even though we kind of knew it. Loquacious Primate for $5. Hey, Gary, looking forward to the New York City meetup. Will I have to try and buy a con ticket? No. And can I just save the money and chill with everyone after? Yes. Do not go to the con. We're going to do the meetup outside. I would never do a meetup in the con. Yeah, I'm only going to be going a couple of days. So we will announce the meetup. Jeremy and I got to talk about it, and it'll probably be closer to when we actually get there and figure it out. But I like, hanging out by the something shack in Brooklyn. I have a friend who lives in Brooklyn. So Peter Davison, Australian $2. Frederick Lewis Allen, The Lords of Creation. Oh, okay. Noted, Peter Davison. Thank you for the Australian $2. Justin Doyle for £5. Hail to you, Gary, sir. I sense a change in the minds of the masses. Adam's apples are gulping. Episode 9 will be the reckoning. I am sensing that change too, Justin. I'm not ready to come. Am I ready to come out and say it will be a flop in Star Wars Disney standards? Maybe. I was at a firm no, it will make money, but we're talking Star Wars Disney standard. This movie needs to make $1 billion worldwide. Now, they could fudge a lot of things and make it happen. But if it makes $800,000 worldwide, I've already heard people trying to spin that that's okay. No, that's a disaster. That is a fracking disaster because Captain Marvel made $1 billion. And also the Captain Marvel $1 billion argument, I think it's a lot easier to do so. And they cheated. It barely beat Wonder Woman, which had no sequels around it. and quite frankly was a better film, a better directed film. Patty Jenkins directed circles around the directors of Captain Marvel, which was 2 directors. Patty Jenkins, like, she's the shit. She can direct a good movie. If they told me right now Patty Jenkins was directing a Superman movie, I'd be happy as hell. She'd be perfect for it. Forbidden Bookshelf Publishing. I will check it out, Peter Davison. Thank you for the Australian $2. Captain Jethro for $4.99. Hail, their bloated egos will not let them admit that they made a mistake with The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. They could care less about fans in the flyover country. Yep. I mean, I'm not going to argue with that at all. Their egos matter more than them making money. Looking bad is the worst crime you could commit. That's why we need to embarrass them. That's why we need to show them that all this tokenism and pandering, I mean, it's embarrassing. They don't know it, like how stupid they look. So we need to put a mirror that they're going to look at. I mean, you put a mirror in the face of anybody from Hollywood and they're like the Fonz. They're all, they just don't see it. And that is hyper narcissism. Hyper narcissism. I'm not saying YouTubers don't have that. I mean, come on, I'm not going to lie to you, but, well, I mean, not hyper narcissism, but listen, you got to have some confidence, but there's confidence and there's understanding when, when shit is falling apart around you and people are telling you over and over again that it's falling apart and you're just going, we're awesome. I don't know what to do with you. I mean, you got to hit bottom. It's just like in recovery. An addict is not going to find recovery until they've hit their personal bottom. Sometimes it's just getting busted once for some people, and sometimes it's being homeless and almost dying. Disney can easily make a CGI Thrawn trilogy. Mark Hamill is already used to voice acting. Yep. And if Harrison Ford doesn't want to reprise his role, they can hire another voice actor. That would be, they would freaking print money. Michael Demandel, yes. I think they need some time. I think if some time passes and they go back and do something like that, absolutely, for $10. But again, they would have lost the normies. And that's tragic. But they did it to themselves. Just a donation, go on from Saclay, 4,000 Huffington Posts. It's a HUF I call it a Huffington Post. Thank you very much. Sue Chapman for $5. Marvel on Ice coming to SSE Arena in Belfast. It includes Spider-Man. I wonder if Sony knows. Keep up the good work. Love your content and Doomcock. Well, thank you, Sue Chapman. I think Marvel's allowed to. Marvel still owns Spider-Man outside of the movies. Yeah, Marvel on Ice. Woo! That'll be fun to watch. Captain Dirk Diggler. What's up for $9.99? I've been watching each episode of Discovery, then matching your review against what I saw. Wow, thanks. I am seeing your point. Funny. My wife said she doesn't understand the spore crap. And before, and this is one of two, we'll get to the second one, 2 of 2. I said, it's fiction. Then I turned on your review and you said the same thing. Eye opener. Well, I thank you. Wow, I didn't know people were still doing that. Thank you for the extra $4.99, Captain Dirk Diggler. Yes, all my reviews are still up. You can consider that like an addition. God, why would you buy the Blu-ray? Don't do that. Don't do that. Cracklin for $1.99. Is there any hope for the Legion series? Nope, it's done. They're gonna. I think were they talking about bringing Dan Stevens into the Eternals, or did they do that already? That's what I heard. Daniel Reislink for Czechoslovakian, 50 Czechoslovakian pesos. Never finished Last Jedi, smart man. Made it to the boob milk, felt my stomach turning, and I ran out of the room just in time. The movie, you were into the movie, that was very silly. Yes, it was beyond silly. It was just, it was done on purpose. It was done to emasculate him. That's it. Loquacious Primate for $5. It's sad. Friday Night Tights runs alongside Doomcock's Friday Night Frolics. What a hard choice to make. I could rewatch both, but it's not the same. Yeah. Well, I had to, I've been on Friday night for like 2 years. So, but I had to move the time up to accommodate East Coast people because I was running into a lot of problems. But the thing is, Doomcock runs for 5 hours. I only run for 2. So you can watch us both. You can actually watch us both. But both of our live streams end up going on alternate channels. If you ever miss them, his is on the Harvey Zone and mine is on Nerdrotic Live. Theron Gale for Canadian $50. Thank you, Theron. It's good to see you again. That's awesome. Doctor Who gender swap, even me when I was a man versus me as a woman now wasn't the same person. In numerous practical ways, can't behave the same way. The idea that men and women are interchangeable is an ideological part of communism, not science. Thank you. And this is from a transgender. Thank you. That is brilliant to hear. This is why we have more in common than we don't. They love to fucking focus on our goddamn differences when the vast majority of us in every single way, we have more in common. Trust me. I mean, this is something that was enlightening when I even moved to San Francisco. You know, people here aren't as bad as they are made out to be. The vast majority of San Franciscans are normal fucking people, believe it or not. But there are a bunch of fringe weirdos here, and they just happen to run the city. And a lot of the fringe weirdos somehow became politicians in my state. I tried. I'm a vast minority here, but that's the way it goes. But when it comes to Doctor Who, if they were going to really get into the character changing into a female, then get into it. If not, and then it was just a superficial move done for a rating spike, which didn't work, and you ended up alienating. You didn't help Jodie. If they would have kept the politics out of it and maybe given her some good writing, then I wouldn't have an argument. I would just say, well, I don't like the female doctor, but I mean, at least it was written well. But that wasn't the case. And that's what they fucking do with all this stuff. I'm been cussing a lot, sorry. But it's the agenda being put into it that divides everybody. It's boring at this point now. It's boring and it's getting predictable. I can't wait till Star Trek Discovery Season 3 comes out because I'm going to run a game where we can predict the woke moments. And it'll be like a hit song. It has to hit that beat every 7 seconds or that hook. It's going to be just like that. Vincent Keith for $5. I can solve Kathleen Kennedy's problem with not enough women. Just have all the men identify as women. There you go. And he's discussing, she went to a Saturday night. Oh, she says, I think she was lying last night. So there was an interview with her on Fortune magazine. She said she was a quarterback on her high school football team in Shasta High School in Redding, California. I couldn't find any evidence of that, but maybe it was true. She also said she went to a Saturday Night Live episode and all the men were camera operators. Now, this was the 70s. She also said it was 1973, which Tom pointed out correctly. That's impossible because Saturday Night Live didn't start until 1975. And so she got there and complained to Frank Marshall. Well, I don't know if she was married to Frank Marshall back then. That there was all male camera operators. Well, for one, there's 3 camera operators. It's a 3-camera shoot on all this live television back in the 70s. And yeah, there was more males back then. Yeah, because more men were interested. I don't know. But who does that? I mean, you know what? There was too many men at the dump when I went to the dump. So, yeah. Destiny Captain, been binging Nerdrotic Archive. Love it. Where did the name of Sutro Watchtower come from? That was when we did our first podcast, Destiny Captain, Dennis and I. We were in the Starbucks of West Portal. So that's where Nerdrotic was born. We did our first podcast from the Starbucks at West Portal. We needed a name because we had just decided that night that we were going to do a podcast. And we're like, well, we need a name. And the Starbucks at West Portal is pretty much right under a big tower here in San Francisco called Sutro Tower. All right. I can see it from my house. It's this giant TV antenna that's 1,000 feet high that you can see everywhere in the Bay Area. And I was thinking of the Justice League Watchtower, and we just put it together. And we even say in the podcast, this is not going to be our name. We're going to come up with a better one later. But for right now, it's just the Sutro Watchtower. And then, you know, I had Nerdrotic at the time, but I wasn't committed on using it. I didn't want to use it for that podcast. Then later I committed to it. And by the way, recently trademarked. So I am TM'd officially. Thank you, Destiny Captain. Riff Magus. Thank you, Gary, for always providing the example of how to gain traction on one's YouTube channel. Many times have I shut up drama mongers by sharing your example. Keep up the good work. Well, you are quite welcome. I personally stay away from it is not my place ever to tell another YouTuber what to do with their channel. And, while I stay away from that, and I make no secret of it, I have a very hard stance on, I don't do YouTuber on YouTube. For one, YouTube is clamping down very hard on that. And it doesn't do any good, in my opinion. You don't want to, if you give them oxygen, I mean, sometimes things get bad and you have to deal with it. Jeremy did the right thing. He went on a live stream. He faced all his accusers and a couple of them kind of wussed out. And I think it's done. I think it's said and done. He faced his accusers and that's it. Because a bunch of people were getting weirdly personal with him and starting to make video. I mean, like weird. I don't blame somebody for defending themselves, but I will back my friends no matter what. I just don't personally do it because I don't want to go after another YouTuber. It's not what I'm here to do. And again, I don't want to give them oxygen. But again, I don't want to judge other people for doing it. You do you on your channel and I'll watch it. I just won't partake. Thank you, Riff Magus. Orville Nation for $5. Now the normies will be more aware of George Lucas's being upset with Disney Star Wars. How do you think this will affect future of Star Wars? If so, now that the normies will be more aware of George Lucas. I think that remains to be seen. I think this absolutely reflects negatively on Disney. Will it equate to dollars? That remains to be seen. I think it gave okay, hear me out on this one, Fandom Menace. I think, not that we need it, because we don't, but last night gave, the last couple days have given the Fandom Menace a lot of legitimacy to people that we don't care if we get it from them or not, if that makes any sense. So the normies, more normies might be aware of the Fandom Menace, and they might see that we're not what Star Wars Explains wife says we are at all, or we're not what Inverse says we are. We are just we are consumers, not even consumers. We're customers. We're passionate fans of Star Wars and Star Trek and Doctor Who and Marvel Comics who just want politics out. Divisive partisan politics out so we can all enjoy everything. Yeah, Star Wars is for everyone, but right now it's not. But not in the ways that Disney thinks. And so is Marvel. And so, you know what? If you're a Lord of the Rings fan, I'm not saying the show's going to be good, but at least it's protected by the Tolkien estate. And the Tolkien estate hasn't sold it to some major corporation. Now, one of the heirs of the Tolkien estate might do it someday. Please don't. Please don't. But it's still owned by them, and that's brilliant. That is brilliant. San Francisco, land of fruits and nuts. Well, yeah, nuts for sure. Dark Knight of Thrones, $2. Curse again. Hail, fucking Gary. Hail the Phantom Menace. Thank you, Dark Knight of Thrones. Yeah, sorry about Game of Thrones winning a damn award. But again, that was an FU award. Straight up. Straight up. Destiny Captain, $4.99. You don't have to open the package I sent on the show, but you might want offline before New York. I'm sure I've opened the package already, Destiny Captain. If you sent it over a couple weeks ago, I've opened it. But Destiny Captain, email me because I can't get into it now. Email me. Tell me what you sent, and I will let you know because it seems like you want to know. So please, because I don't open everything. So, and we've had a lot of confusion in the office as things have gotten moved around and some things got separated. So, cards were supposed to be attached to the packages. Some did not stay attached. So just email me, Gary@nerdrotic.com. And thank you for sending it. Thank you. Thank you. And Admin Grumpy Bear for $20. Why is it lost on these folks that the presence of woke politics and agenda and the absence of creativity and originality consistently equals less money? They're finally starting to realize it. Now they're denying. Listen, the comic industry is the best example of just complete denial. I just watched a podcast with Brian Hibbs, who bought my shop, and they discussed all the woes of the comic industry. There's a ton of woes with the comic industry, but entertainment industry really needs to pay attention to the woes of the comic industry, because that is coming for the entertainment industry. And the comic industry, the people who had power, the comic book retailers, did not say enough. They had the power to stop it, and they didn't say anything, and now they're complaining that their frickin' industry is falling apart. Well, if you shut up and you don't say anything, then it falls apart. That's why we talk here in the Fandom Menace. That's why we do what we do. And now I've got retailers messaging me and going, oh man, I wish somebody was saying something like you were. Well, we were. There was a bunch of YouTubers before me saying it over and over again. It's like, guys, stop doing this. I want to keep giving you money. Just stop. Nazi. I mean, and now comic shops are closing. Since I started this live stream, probably 4 more closed. And it's too damn late. It's too damn late. So, and now the comic industry is relying on fucking libraries. Scholastic, government bailouts. It's not going to work. You're not going to have that for the entertainment industry. So if you want to have an industry, one that's still raking in billions instead of just millions, because the comic industry has turned from millions to it's raking in or hundreds of millions. Now it's raking in just millions, single digit. Then it's going to be thousands. Then it's going to be nothing. And instead of working with the crowdfunding people, like I said, I walked into my comic shop. They will carry a Zoe Quinn comic, but they won't carry a Richard Meyer comic. Are you kidding me? The Richard Meyer comic, I know it because, it's right here. Has no politics in it. And I don't think he's ever contributed to anybody's suicide. Sorry, Richard. I didn't mean to disrespect your book, but I read it. Okay, so Disney, while not as bad as Zoe Quinn, by the way, Zoe Quinn, employee of Disney. She's an employee of Disney. Bob Iger. She works for you, dude. Come off I want somebody to ask him, what do you think about Zoe Quinn being an employee? What do you think about her contributing to the suicide of that, poor chap who was going to probably do it anyway? I'm not saying it was all her fault, and I don't even want to make it about her. Like I said, I'm not into personal stuff, but the reason they don't put a Richard Meyer comic book in a comic book store is because he voted for and he doesn't even talk about that shit that much. But he's honest about the comic industry, really honest, brutally honest. And, some people just can't take that. Gary, I'm holding out hope that for the Clone Wars season on Disney Plus. I am too. Because I think a lot of that was in the can. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. But I feel like it's there to take my money and flip me the finger while I'm watching it. Your thoughts? Kenny Jones, cautiously optimistic is, that's barely a way you can approach Disney at this point. I would say expect the worst and hope for the best, but expect the worst. That's honestly, but yeah, just let me know if they do that with you with the Clone Wars. That's bad. That is bad. Thank you for the $10, Kenny Jones. Atomic Half-Lives Matter for $2, £2, just a donation. Thank you. Thank you, Atomic Half-Lives Matter. They do. They do. Iris Lamb for $4.99. Hi, Iris. Welcome. Thanks, Gary, for being a positive voice for the Fandom Menace. We aren't crazy or toxic or for criticizing terrible writing. And that's all this is. That's all this is. Nobody's asked for cast changes. We've asked for better writing and better treatment of the fans. You can cast a female protagonist as long as that is part of a grander scheme that you have planned out. But the grand scheme they planned out was, let's make the lead a girl and sell some toys. Story, we'll just make it up as we go. We'll bring in Leonard Kasdan because he is so connected with, he is so far removed from his last good script. Riff Magos for Australian $5. Speaking of the comic industry, my local beloved comic cafe has closed. And in the process, lost their suppliers. It doesn't look good at all. It's not. The industry is going to, the threshold is coming. And it's going to break. Well, listen, if you go watch Brian Hibbs has actually been planning for this. Whether he says it out loud or not, like the guy who bought my comic store, he runs his comic shop like a bookstore, and that's actually very smart. But the thing is, they didn't move away from the pamphlets. They still need the pamphlets to survive, and they screwed that up royally by alienating half their fan base. If Disney and Disney Marvel and Disney Star Wars and Warner Brothers and CBS all don't start recognizing that, yes, when you are partisan, you alienate half of your fan base and they will stop spending money with you. And then you want to turn around and call them white nationalist Star Trek fans. Instead of going, maybe we should just be less partisan. Like Seth MacFarlane. I know where Seth lies politically. We all do. But his show isn't like offensive at all. I love his show. I think that's where it should be. God, it's frustrating. The thing is, it would be simple, but it's too hard because it would be admitting they were wrong. And listen, it must be very hard in the Disney offices to see Jeremy and myself saying Fandom Menace victorious, because we freaking were. We won this one. It was hard earned. A lot of you worked harder than I did. Jeff has been working on this. EVS has been working on this. Jeremy, SC Reviews. So many, Midnight's Edge, Tom, Doomcock, a bunch of people have been working their asses off on this. Passionately working our asses off. Taking a lot of shit, which we can handle. Honestly, for me, it's not that bad. I shouldn't complain because I honestly don't get a ton of shit. But, the other guys do. The other guys do. And it's just for speaking their mind. Cough, cough. I streamed about Inverse messing up. Oh, good, Bruce Lombardo. Is it on your channel? I will watch it. I will watch it. Thank you for the coffee, sir. I drank some this morning. Apocrypha for $1.99. Press F for the pure and creative people in comics. Please do. Press F for the pure and creative people in comics. There are still some out there that still work at Marvel and still work at DC. There's good people who work there. I don't want to paint them all with a bad brush. And listen, not everybody out there wants to alienate half their fan base. They have to play by the rules that to keep their jobs. But there's a point where you got to just say screw it and leave. I'm sorry, especially if you're talented. And there's a movement you can join right now where everybody is welcome. Fandom Menace, Comicsgate. I know some people like to gatekeep at Comicsgate, but not everybody and not the people you think. I think EVS has always said anybody's welcome. Just all you have to do is be good to the customers. That's it. And people will love you. If you bring out a good story and you treat them with respect, the fact that I have to say this out loud in this day and age shows you where everything is. It's like I'm talking to a 2-year-old, but that's how they act sometimes. Not saying you guys are, they are. Late to the party today. YouTube won't let me rewind from the start, from the beginning. That's probably because I'm on OBS right now. I won't always be on OBS. I'm going to move to a different service when I get a new internet connection, Darkstar. I apologize, but when I'm on OBS, you can't rewind. I don't think there's anything I can do about it, but I will keep this one up for a while. I'll keep this one up for an hour after it ends, and then it will go to Nerdrotic Live, but it'll be unlisted. So if you guys want to hang on to the link, it'll still be on the channel. Please share it far and wide. And I will mirror it on Nerdrotic Live, and then it'll later go on to nerdrotic.com, which is my website where I back up everything. By the way, you can get all of these as audio podcasts through iTunes and Player FM or any mirror of iTunes. Or you could just listen to it on my website if you're driving in the car or whatever. Been doing that for years. That's actually what I've been doing longer than YouTube. So, Okay, so I say welcome anyway. Forgot to say the other day, congrats, Gary, on 130,000 subscribers. Keep up the great work, man. Thank you, Darkstar76. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here. You're great people, and you really... I can't thank you guys. There's no words how much you have really helped me get through. What was formerly a rough couple of years, but it was totally worth it to get through it. So, Mrs. Nerdrotic helped too. Big shout out to Mrs. Nerdrotic. She's been helping a lot with the channel, and it's the reason I'm able to start answering messages now. Now, we're going to be clamping down on some stuff. Again, I've announced I'm going to close down the Discord because I don't ever go there. And I'm going to close down the DMs on the Facebook group, but you will be able to still contact me through my website, GaryNerdrotic.com. It's just, it's hard right now, but I'm trying, and we will get through this. But Mrs. Nerdrotic's doing something like trademarking, and she made these stickers. We're going to have a bunch of swag to give away at New York. Shirts, stickers, buttons, all that fun stuff. That's... dude, I want an M for Mrs. Nerdrotic. Her name's Melissa. So if I could get an M in the chat, please, for Mrs. Nerdrotic and some applause. She is just the best wife in the world. Don't let Bob Iger's story distract you from the fact that in 1966, Al Bundy scored the 4 touchdowns in a single game while playing for the Polk High School Panthers. Handsome boner. That's awesome. Look at all those M's. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Nerdrotic. Show her some respect. Respect that, whammon. You guys are awesome. Thank you. God. You know what sucks, Handsome Boner, which is a funny name, by the way. You can't watch proper Married with Children because you can't get the right music with it. I just don't want to watch it without the Love and Marriage song. I just don't. Miss you saying first SC. So here you go again. You deserve it. Oh, did you miss the previous one? I'll read it again. Missed you saying my first super chat. So here you go again. You deserve it. Oh, well, I'll say it. I'll repeat it. You don't have to do that. Where was it? Hang on. I'll find it. Sporking News, because I did say it. Just wanted to say thank you, Gary, for everything you do. Thank you, sir. We're getting caught up here. Mark C, San Francisco. I already read that one. So we thanks for good positive voice in the Fandom Menace, speaking to the comic industry, and all right, Anthony Mata for $4.99. To the gentleman who said SF is full of fruits and nuts, I disagree at least 2/3. It is full of nuts. If you want, it's full of a lot of things. But what it's mostly full of right now, Anthony Mata, is shit, unfortunately. CM Shazam for $9.99 went to David Tennant Theater event. Oh, for Doctor Who More women and girls than men and boys. Could the political shift in sci-fi be to demographic shift? No. The thing is, the reason there was more women and girls at the David Tennant event is because they like David Tennant, and what they misread was that they wanted a female doctor. No, they wanted David Tennant. I've said this from the very get-go, CM Shazam. Doctor Who was a show for everybody. Everybody. And I did watch parties at my shop. It had men, boys, girls, moms, everybody from all likes watching the show because it did have an aspect of the companion. But they wanted to take away something from the boys. They wanted to take away the star as they perceived it, which a companion of Doctor Who is as much as the star as the Doctor. As a matter of fact, that's what you kind of focus on. That's your connection to the audience. So all it proves to me is what I knew already is women would rather see David Tennant or Matt Smith than a female doctor because women like men. So yeah. I maybe you didn't hear at Comic-Con. Thank you for the $9.99, by the way. I saw more women cosplaying as Peter Capaldi than as Jodie Whittaker. I saw 6 12th Doctor female cosplays, and I saw 2 or 3 Jodie Whittaker cosplays, which is easy to cosplay. Phantom Menace After Party, Crisis on Infinite Iger Tijuanas, Mexican Iron Man, órale, vato. Lady Mist for $5. This is for Mrs. Nerdrotic. Buy her some coffee. Lady Mist, thank you. I will. Yeah, Doctor Who blew it more than anything and anybody. All right. It is time to end it, folks. We have reached the end of the super chats, and I would like to thank everybody for hanging in there. And I appreciate all of you. We had up to 1,800 people watching today. We still have like 1,692. We lost 100 there. I don't know what I did. Maybe I clapped too loud. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing and liking the videos. My live stream schedule will be back. Listen, things are going to get back to normal after I return from New York. The Nerdrotic Nooner will be at a set time. It will be Monday through Thursday. It will be preceded by a short half-an-hour foreplay Nooner on my Patreon. You can join that for as little as $1. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to be live streaming a lot more. Of course, we have the Exozone this Thursday at 1 p.m. We also have the Inquisition with Doomcock, where we're really going to get into the inverse thing. That's why I kind of stayed away from it, because I want Doomcock to have his say first. But I definitely defend my friend Doomcock. I think that guy Corey is a bit of an idiot, but we want to go after Inverse. Corey wrote for them. I mean, listen, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but really at Inverse as much as you can with your displeasure. I know that's what they want. And remember, contact Ryan at RK Outpost. He can give you the archive link for the article, so you don't give them a click. He can be found on Twitter, Ryan at RK Outpost. And hopefully we can not give them as many clicks as possible. And we'll go from there. Look for Doomcock's video tomorrow. I will be working on a video tonight. If you're a member of my Patreon, I'll be back on live later tonight for a quick half hour because I owe you guys one from yesterday. So thank you again, everybody. Have a great day. Remember, there is still good stuff out there. It's just older. Go rewatch Lord of the Rings, And remember, not all who wander are lost.